I know the stuff your buddies are made of. And oddly, it's the same stuff the founders of the U.S. were made of. You see, it's the same stuff I'm made of and the same stuff millions of Americans are made of. The difference between us and you? My founders fought for religious freedom and against intolerance. Some Americans still do, I think. Your buddies fight against religious freedom and for intolerance. That is not cultural diversity, despite the proclamations of the liberal media, just to clarify. Now, I'm not sure how many Americans have sold us out, like the untrustworthy goat boy, whether through direct action like him or simple neglect. Nonetheless, it will only take a few of us, a very few of us committed souls to defeat all of you. And you know why I know that? Because your Quran says so. That's right, 1781, and I quote, "Truth has arrived and falsehood has perished, for falsehood is, by its nature, bound to perish." Isn't that what your prophet said when he destroyed the evil pagan gods? Well, as I see it, truth has arrived, motherfuckers. Here I am. So, goat boy, tell your buddies or act it out or draw a picture so their simple, violent minds understand this. Some of us know the truth. Some of us know you are a group of crazy, murdering people. Unfortunately for you, in America, we're very familiar with murder and crazy people. That's all we know. We watch murder on the news, our television shows, even our children's cartoons. Our youth play and win their video games by killing the other guy. Most Americans love violence despite the PC liberal pleadings of friendly engagement or negotiation. Our lives revolve around violence, and oddly, thanks to the liberal media and their movies. And as for crazy, well, let's just say Americans won this country by defeating our opponent using garden tools. Simply put, there are those of us who don't believe what your pals think we believe. And if all we have left is a shovel, we will kick your ass. However, we are unwillingly saddled with a very liberal media here in the States, which may have led your pals to think that all Americans believe that liberal horse shit. You know, that we all have the same weak, hypocritical philosophies, like abolishing the death penalty for convicted murderers, but legalizing millions of innocent developing babies to be sucked down drains annually. Yeah, I'm sadly aware that there are those who would, rather than offend the spotted owl, prefer to fill their SUV in exchange for petrodollars, which funds your ability to kill more of our troops. Then they drive around screaming about the increasing number of troop losses and how it's just a war for oil, as if their fucking cars run on air. No, we're not all that stupid or self-destructive. Not all of us live in or accept this debauchery as a way of life, unlike your hypocritical buddies did at the titty bar before they flew into the World Trade Centers. Oh, and not everybody watching your lame suicide bombers is more caught up in the fact that innocent people were killed, to the exclusion of rejoicing in the fact that the guilty sons of bitches that did it are dead too. Hallelujah, and the dumbasses did it themselves. That's one 500-pound bomb we won't have to waste dropping on those shitheads. Now, you may be comfortable with your so-called terror cells here or a handful of ignorant converts. You may even have millions who ignorant believe that your Sharia law is okay as long as it's only practiced in Muslim neighborhoods in our country. Or you may believe that you have support because the Muslim majority is not roaring against you in the U.S. And sadly, on your part, that's immaterial. Though I do have to admit, it is notable that your little medieval group has gotten this far. One would have surely thought we would have been better protected, but then that wouldn't be PC. I'm sure you understand that. PC, it's the phrase that allows nutjobs like you free access to destroy us because some dumbasses are more afraid of offending others than defending themselves and fellow countrymen. Not me. I don't believe in meeting a slap in the face with forgiveness or negotiation. I believe in fucking making sure you never get the wild idea of ever slapping me again. You know, except it wasn't a slap. It was a slaughter brought to us by you. And I will never forget that, no matter how many others have. Now, you may feel empowered because it appears that some Americans want us to run away or negotiate or appease your fanatical demands, believing that despite your years of murderous declarations, which you fulfilled, including 2 attacks on the World Trade Centers, the London and Madrid bombings, all that will miraculously end if you are supplicated. Of course, you and I know they're all fucking idiots. They've been kissing your asses for decades and humiliating themselves, and what has their technique gotten? More dead Americans. Churchill warned, appeasement is feeding the crocodile hoping to be eaten last. Well, the weak and appeasing will not be the last to be eaten. No, they will be the only ones stupid enough to be eaten, which still leaves you with people like me, and we are not inclined to appease or be weak. Eliminating the weak minds only strengthens us, and as you know, there are many more weak. So your odds of hitting the strong are few, leaving aside the sheer futility. Your claim in your last video to convert to Islam or die is a lie at best, since you murder Muslims every day. What were they supposed to convert to? The other Islam? You fucking freaks. I mean, at this point, I don't expect your loony group capable of behaving like anything other than animals anyway, and that's exactly how you should be treated. Because your beheading videos and evisceration of our citizens prove that. No wonder you nut jobs live in caves. Only animals like you could be more concerned with the dirt on their feet than the blood on their hands. Even Muslim countries aren't foolish enough to allow your crazy friends proper entry. Oh, and by the way, using the goat boy as a talking head makes your crusade appear crude and laughable at best. Jeez, I thought your doctor would have picked up on that. I mean, your acceptance of Adam's treasonous, untrustworthy behavior only shows Americans that your cause is such a joke that its leaders will desperately allow their religion to be represented and denigrated by a spoiled, angry American brat. That a moron would be allowed to speak for what some of you claim to be their holy God only proves your group is nuts and cannot possibly be following true Islam. It also proves that in your version of Islam, you will use Adam, and he's a liar and full of falsehoods. And falsehood, as you know, is bound to perish. American people who know the truth will display strength and defend, and that's a promise you can take straight to your 72 virgins. Now, back to you, Adam, and Mr. Ass Finger Pointer. You make no mistake about it, you goddamn traitor. We're over here, and you're over there waiting to die. Sorry, it just kind of makes me giggle. And by the way, after you're dead, if your buddies are still into picking up American trash, I believe Sean Penn and Danny Glover are available. You know, they too are traitors and enjoy degrading their country, just the kind of folks your buddies like. So, while we may not know exactly what kind of lethal weapon or die-hard scene you or your nut job friends may be desperately concocting against us, or, God forbid, how many more times we'll be forced to see you yapping your pie hole with your head still attached to your body. But one thing I do know, Adam, truth has arrived.